Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to quickly show you how you can connect your API endpoints to Bubble so that you can use Xano as a backend with Bubble. So the first endpoint that I'm going to show you is just a get, and it's going to be this get all merchant records that I have here on my screen. So I can simply copy this endpoint by clicking this link icon, and I'll go over to Bubble. Now in Bubble, we want to go to this plugins page, and we want to make sure we have this Bubble API connector installed. And this allows us to connect to external APIs. So right here in the Bubble API connector, I can hit add another API, and I'm going to want to expand this. And I could give this API name. I'll call this maybe get merchants. And now down here, I'm going to paste in that endpoint link, which I copied to my clipboard, and I'll simply initialize the call. And when I do that, we'll see Bubble is able to read the fields from my Xano database via this API endpoint. And we could alter these field types here if we wish, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. And our call is initialized. So that's all I have to do for the get, which is really great. Now for a post, there's an extra step we need to take. So I'm going to add another API here in Bubble, and I'm going to call this my post merchant. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to Xano here, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab this post merchant record. So I'm going to copy the endpoint link again, and I'm going to come back to Bubble. I'll expand this, and instead of a get, I'm going to hit this drop down, and I'm going to select post, and I'm going to paste that endpoint URL right here into Bubble. And now we see that with this post, we have this body or these parameters that we need to actually enter in, which we didn't get for get. So what I like to do is I like to go back to Xano, and because we auto document everything for you in Swagger, I like to come into Swagger and go to that same endpoint, and then they have this nice example body right here. So I just grab that and I copy it, and I come back to Bubble and I'll paste this in. And then Bubble also tells us that we need to use these arrows for dynamic values. So we can go ahead, we can put those in between actually these quotation marks here. And now we're ready to initialize the call. And once we do that, we'll see once again that through that API endpoint, Bubble is able to read the fields in our Xano database table. So I can simply hit save, and now we're connected with both a get API endpoint and post API endpoint. So we can go ahead and have Xano power our backend while we use Bubble as a front end.